Morning children, how is your lockdown period going on? I hope you all are fine. Yesterday we have discussed about human male reproductive system. Today let us discuss about human female reproductive system. Female reproductive system includes reproductive organ, accessory ducts, accessory glands and external genitalia. Just like male reproductive system, it also includes reproductive organs, accessory ducts, accessory glands and external genitalia. So first let us study about the reproductive organ. A pair of ovaries are the female reproductive organ. And where it is located? It is located one on either side of the lower abdomen. It is attached to the pelvic wall and the uterus by means of ligaments. What are ligaments? Last year you have studied ligaments are a type of connective tissue, and each ovary is covered by a thin outer epithelium and inner stroma, and this stroma part is being divided into peripheral cortex region and inner medulla region. Inside the ovary, follicles of different maturing stages, that is primary follicles, secondary follicle and tertiary follicles are present. So ovaries are the female reproductive organ. Where it is located? They are located one on either side of the lower abdomen, and it is attached to the pelvic wall and uterus with the help of a connective tissue called ligaments. It is 2 to 4 centimeter in its length. Each ovary is covered by a thin epithelium and inside it has a stroma. The stroma is being divided into peripheral cortex region and inner medulla region. Now what is the main function of the ovary? Its main functions are: one is production of female gamete. What's the other name for female gamete? Egg or ovum. And the second function is it secretes steroidal hormones. So what are all the hormones ovary secretes? One is estrogen and the other one is progesterone. Now let us move on to the accessory duct system. The duct system includes oviduct. What's the other name for oviduct? It is also called fallopian tube, uterus and vagina. So oviduct or fallopian tube, uterus and vagina includes the female accessory duct system. So first let us study about the oviduct or fallopian tube, and this tube is of 10 to 12 centimeters in its length, and it extends from periphery of each ovary to the uterus. So here you can see. So this tube is called the fallopian tube or the oviduct. So here the part of the oviduct that is closer to the ovary is called infundibulum. At its terminal part you can see the presence of finger-like projections called the fimbriae. Now what is the function of the fimbriae? It normally guides the ovum into the fallopian tube. It guides the ovum into the fallopian tube. Just above the infundibulum, a wider part is seen, that is called ampulla region. This ampulla region extends further to form a narrow tube called the isthmus region. Finally, isthmus joins with the uterus. Clear? So the part of the fallopian tube very close to the ovary is called the infundibulum. It has finger-like projections called fimbriae. What is the function of fimbriae? It guides the ovum into the oviduct just above the infundibulum. Infundibulum is funnel shaped. Just above the infundibulum, a wider region is present called the ampulla. It enters into a narrow tube called isthmus. It joins with the uterus. Normally, fertilization occurs at the junction between ampulla and isthmus region. Now, uterus or womb. Uterus is normally single. It is of inverted pear-shaped in structure. It is also attached to the pelvic region with the help of a connective tissue called ligament. And this uterus opens into the vagina through a structure called cervix region. That is, uterus opens into the vagina through cervix. The cavity of the cervix or the lumen of the cervix is called the cervical canal. Cervical canal along with the vagina forms the birth canal. So here you can see this is the structure of a uterus. Other name is of womb and it is of inverted pear-shaped in structure. And this uterus consists of three wall layers you can see. Now the outer layer is called perimetrium. It is thin and membranous. Middle is called myometrium. Can you see here? This myometrium is made up of muscle. So it is a muscular layer and it undergoes wild type of contraction during parturition or childbirth. And the innermost layer is called the endometrium. Endo means inner. Here can you see the glands? This layer is glandular in nature. It undergoes cyclic changes during menstrual cycle. So uterus has three wall layers. What are they? Outer is perimetrium, thin and membranous. How will you call the middle layer? Myometrium, muscular. This layer will undergo wild contraction during parturition or childbirth. Inner one is called endometrium, that is glandular. It undergoes cyclic changes during menstrual cycle. What is menstrual cycle? It is the reproductive cycle that occurs once in 28 days in a primate female. Now let us move on to the accessory glands. So in case of a female, a mammary glands, a pair of mammary gland is the accessory gland. And this mammary gland consists of glandular tissue and varied amount of fat content. So here you can see it consists of varied amount of fat content as well as the glandular tissue. And each mammary gland consists of 15 to 20 mammary lobes. Each gland consists of 15 to 20 mammary lobes. And these lobes are having a special type of tissue called alveoli. This alveoli is very familiar to you. You have studied in case of respiratory system. The lungs consist of alveoli. The air sac we call it as alveoli. Likewise, here the mammary lobes consist of alveoli. Now what is the function of this alveoli? It secretes milk and it is stored in the lumen of the alveoli. So mammary gland is made up of glandular tissue and fat content. Each mammary gland consists of 15 to 20 mammary lobes that has a special type of cell called alveoli. Its function is to secrete and store the milk in the lumen of the alveoli. And from each lobe, mammary tubules arise. And these tubules join to form the mammary duct. And mammary ducts form the mammary ampulla. Finally, it forms the lactiferous duct. So from each lobe, mammary tubules are arising. that join to form the mammary duct. Mammary duct forms the ampulla. Finally, it opens into the lactiferous duct and the milk is sucked out through this lactiferous duct. So, mammary gland is the accessory gland in case of female reproductive system. Now, the last one is about the external genitalia. It includes mons pubis, labia majora, labia minora, hymen and clitoris. So, female external genitalia consists of mons pubis, labia majora, labia minora, hymen and clitoris. So, what is mons pubis? It is nothing but a cushion of fatty tissue covered by skin and pubic hair. Next one is labia majora. It is a fleshy fold of tissue that extends from labia, that is, it extends from mons pubis and surround the vagina. So, first part, mons pubis, it is a cushion of fatty tissue covered by skin with pubic hair. Labia majora is a fleshy fold of tissue, extends from mons pubis and surround the vagina. Now, next one is labia minora. It is a pair of fold tissue located just beneath the labia majora. Now, next is a hymen. What is a hymen? It is a very delicate thin membrane that partially covers the opening of vagina. Sometime what will happen when a female is doing physical activities or doing exercise or bicycle riding or horse riding, that time there are possibilities for the hymen to rupture. So, presence or absence of hymen cannot decide the virginity of a female. Now, the last part is of clitoris. It is the finger-like structure, lies at the junction of two labia minora just above the urethral opening. So, external genitalia consists of mons pubis, labia majora, labia minora, hymen and clitoris. So, you have studied today about female reproductive organ, accessory duct system, accessory gland system and external genitalia. Go through it. If you have any doubts, you can clarify it through WhatsApp group. Thank you so much for your patient hearing.